Record to computer. All right. Good evening, everyone. Happy Sunday, Sunday. It is my 8th wedding anniversary. It was awesome last night. We got a whole night to ourselves, out to dinner, relaxed, no kids. It was wonderful. So thank you to my mother-in-law for watching the kids overnight. I know that's never an easy project. But so nice to sleep in this morning. So welcome, Sunday the 5th. And I just want to quickly recap from this past week. So this past week, it might have even been the week before, and I just missed it last week. But we had 2 new people on the team rank up. So one of them with us tonight, Megan Weston. Another one, Dr. Monica Leslie, both ranked up to manager this past week. Yay! So I'm so excited for them and their new journey with LifeWave, their extension journey with LifeWave. They have such a great source with their businesses to bring the patches to their business that really enhances what they already do and helps their clients even more. To alleviate pain and to just live healthier lives. So congratulations, Megan.
Thank you.
Yeah. So also this past week, there was talk of compliance. So I just want to make everybody aware of this, that there were people not on our team specifically, other than me. We'll talk about that later. But people that were on like the under the umbrella of the people that are signed up with us, that there were accounts that were shut down. There were people that just had their hands slapped. So there was an entire compliance Zoom last week that I tuned into after the fact. I couldn't catch it live. But basically they wanted to let us know that, as LifeWave grows, as the company grows, that there are bigger clients, compliance departments. There are more people coming in that are monitoring what's going on. So, that being said, we just want to make sure that we're not making any medical claims. We are treating symptoms because, X39 is an amazing patch. And, when pharma gets word of things like this, and how much money pharmaceutical companies have, we really want to, be careful what we're saying. And what we're saying is more along the lines of what LifeWave is saying. Now, there are some ways around it. In terms of David, he does his webinars every month, which are fantastic. They're wealths of knowledge. I go back and reference them all the time. I'm so thankful that they're recorded. But he will go on and say something. For example, he had the Y-age, the Eon and X39 recently in January. Hi, Krista. So he had said, he was talking all about Eon and the peptide. And in the chat, I said, what peptide is it? Inquiring minds want to know. And his response was, oh, yes, logical question, asking what peptide it is, because we know, X39 are the copper peptides. So he said that he will not say what peptide it is, because if you were to go Google that peptide, it would overwhelmingly come back with information about cancer, like cancer therapies. So he doesn't want there to be any confusion about Eon and what it's intended for, and that it's not making medical claims. So using David's little webinars and sharing his speeches, it's a way to say something that you wish you could say without saying it, because he's saying it. And yeah, so there are other ways to speak of things, but do not make medical claims. Just be careful what you're saying on social media. And from what I'm understanding, the 2 big ones that they're looking after are anything making claims against cancer and to the cure cancer, and anything making claims to cure COVID. I think those are the 2 big ones right now. So myself, my My link was removed, switched, diverted just because of what my name had been. It went against policy, which is fine. So again, if you have time, familiarize yourself with a little bit with the policy if you can. If not, ask us, ask someone. I will find you whatever information I can. The other part is that there are other Q&As that go on during the week. We have Sandra Bizkind that does one on Tuesdays. I think you said, Krista, it was at 3 o'clock Pacific. So it's 12 Pacific. Okay, 12 Pacific, 3 o'clock Eastern. Okay. And then I know Therese does one on Mondays. Don't remember the time offhand, but I did post it on the group.
6 p.m. Pacific, but
Okay.
it's on x39training.com.
Yeah. Yep. And then to queue into Patch Me Up Babe on the Facebook group, so you can ask whatever questions you need to on there. There are Monday is like the leader call. Monday is everything happens on Mondays for leaders because it's the kickstart of our week. And then Tuesdays, there is a business builder at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, and that's with the Quantum Healing team. That's with Sandra. And if you guys can get plugged in with that, she's a really great resource. Her team is amazing. We're on her team. We are a part of her team, and she's a fantastic leader and someone to look up to. So I highly recommend that you kind of get plugged in with those. And I did put those on the Facebook. In the Facebook group, if anyone needs links, specific links, I'll get them for you. You can find them in X39 training. If you need help finding them, let me know. And well,
Can I add something to that as well?
Absolutely, please do.
The beautiful thing about what Sandra's offering with that Q&A every Tuesday is that it's really focused only on patch questions and protocols. So for anyone who wants to invite a friend or somebody that they know who's interested in patches, it's a great prospecting event as well, because we're not talking about pitching people into the business on that call, or talking about how to build a business. That's saved for those who want to build a business in the quantum healing team call, that 4 p.m. later that day Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. So I've used that initially just to help educate my friends when I was brand new to using the patches, just to invite friends onto that as well so they can learn, and Sandra welcomes that.
Yeah,
So,
no, it's great.
Yeah.
I love listening to Sandra speak, and she's just so eloquent, and she speaks from love. It really, you can just see that in her, everything she speaks about. Krista introduced our team to LifeWave. You had introduced Carrie to LifeWave, who then Carrie came and immediately patched me without hesitation. I patched. So welcome, Krista. I asked her to come on tonight to tell her story, share her story. We are recording this so we can share it later on our YouTube page for team members to catch later on if they couldn't get on tonight. This is a tough time East Coast wise because of bedtime routines. So,
Yeah, so a lot of people catch on the replay, and that's great. It's great that you provide this, Kate, and you're doing so much to just share this incredible healing technology and this device with others, and then to also lead. So I'm just so grateful to have you part of our family, and it's so fun to work with you and just see how you're just making things happen. And I want to congratulate you for your recent rank up to director. And yeah, it's just so exciting.
You are now director too.
Yeah, we both are. So it's just fun to see us all like rank up and move up, and just know that as we're really here with our vision and our mission to help end pain and suffering and to heal it, of course, we get to rank up and be compensated for it as well. So I know for me, when I first was looking for, I was looking for another avenue of income. That's actually how LifeWave ended up coming into my life. But a little background about me is I am a psychic medium, energy healer, transformation coach, and also epigenetic health coach. So with all those different credentials, I'm here with my purpose to help, guide people in seeing the bridge between science and spirituality and healing. I would say overall, I'm here as a healer, and I use all these different tools to help people heal. So with that, I wanted to create another avenue of income within the different areas that I provide services. So about a year and a half ago, so it was summer 2021, a friend of mine who is a holistic practitioner in Canada brought to me a patch technology. And I started using it. It was set up as a network marketing company as well. It was a startup company. I think I was one of the first people, first like 500 people to start in the company. And the testimonials were incredible. There was 4 different patches. There was a sleep patch, a pain patch, and an energy patch, and then a patch that people put on their phones to prevent EMF signals. So the testimonials were amazing. People were having results. I was wearing the patches. But every time I wanted to get down into the science, because I'm a science nerd, and I don't want to say a nerd, but if I'm going to be able to explain this to people and share it with the world, I want to know that I'm equipped with the science, because number one, I want to know, and number two, I know other people are going to want to know. And I could never get answers saying, oh, it's patented. Oh, we aren't sharing that. Their medical director was very like, it was very like scripted whenever he would speak, and it wouldn't go into the details. And so it was a problem I was having, but yet I was having an experience with this product, right? And then, of course, as spirit would, realign things for me in the perfect way, because I was open to patch technology again, I actually ended up meeting Sandra and Daniel Biskind in Florida when I was at an event, a transformation coaching event. And I was looking at working into my coaching certification. She happened to be there as a friend of the presenter. And Sandra was wearing the LifeWave patches at that event. And I was wearing the other patches. And she saw me and I saw her. And okay, we need to talk. We're both wearing a patch technology. And of course, she knew I needed to come over to this side of the fence. And I didn't know that yet. But after probably about 3 one-hour phone calls with Sandra and watching a lot of different videos with her interviewing our inventor, David Schmidt, I was totally aligned with LifeWave. And so I made the switch and came in as a platinum new member when I started, and was just so excited to try all of the patches. That gave me an opportunity to get a little bit of everything. And I remember even just doing it on the phone with Sandra, and I didn't know anything about what the patches, what each of them did. And she said, put 2 of this in your card, 2 of this, 1 of this. And I just went with it because I just trusted that this was the path. And it's been amazing. And lo and behold, this other company, and I'm not going to mention the name, turns out a few months later, they actually went under, and they didn't actually stay afloat. And there was apparently some fraudulent things around the company that I'm not surprised. So I'm just so grateful for the integrity of LifeWave, that David Schmidt's been working on this technology for over 20 years, that the company's been around for 20 years. There's so much to be said that when we vet a company and who we want to partner with, to know that there's longevity here, and there's integrity and financial stability. And of course, last month, LifeWave having their largest month of revenue ever in the history of the company, and paying out more commissions to those of us that are in the sales force than ever. So we're just celebrating that. And we know that anyone that we share this with, or anyone who's watching this replay, that this company is built upon a strong foundation. Mm-hmm. So, and my guess is that this other company was actually stealing maybe this technology, maybe other people's technology. I don't know, but there was something not right about it. So
clearly, as if they're not around anymore, that's definitely, right. I would consider that to be the case.
I'm so grateful, because it opened me to the idea of patch technology, so that when I met Sandra, I was wide awake and wide open to learning about this one.
Sure.
So fast forward, my experience, everyone always asks, well, what was your experience? Why did you want to use the patches? And again, for me, like I said, it was because I wanted to create another revenue stream, and also with something that was aligned with what I'm already doing. How can I support my clients in a greater way with their healing? And so I found that to be my motivator, but I knew I wanted to have my own experience. So I started wearing the patches. I had had COVID twice in 2021. So I knew that I wasn't thinking as sharp. and that my energy wasn't as high as it normally is. And I would say after, I think it was not quite 3 months, maybe 8 weeks, 10 weeks into using the patches, I remember that was just jumping out of bed, really motivated to get my days started, feeling really productive, having a lot of clarity around what I wanted to accomplish that day. And I thought, oh, something's shifting, because sometimes, especially if we don't have chronic pain or we don't have a major health issue, which was me, I'm already an epigenetic coach. I'm doing a lot of things that are aligned with my own unique DNA blueprint. So for me, it took me a little longer to have that experience. But having higher amounts of energy and clarity was huge for me. And that was helping me move into, making more money and doing other things, having more energy to exercise, and being able to, I started doing some volunteer work, like, oh, I have an extra hour of steam, I can help my friend with this project or something like that. So that was huge. And then the other thing around that time, people started asking me, oh, have you done something? What's different about you? They started noticing I was looking different, but I hadn't had my hair done. I had done nothing with my face. So I was just getting those kind of comments, and that helped me also see that something's shifting. And I did some before and after photos, and I can see definitely a reduction of fine lines. And about a year and a half prior to starting LifeWave, I also removed toxic beauty out of my life. I stopped Botox, and I also had my breast implants removed. And those were all big decisions, because living in Southern California and the way that I thought I had to live or look to be successful was definitely a program that I was releasing, especially as an epigenetic health coach. I knew there was things that were not making me well and things that were causing illness in my body. And all the research is out there, breast implant illness is real. And so for me, it was, of course, an edge to not be, injecting into my face and having, crow's feet again, and just owning it and saying, this is okay. And so it was fun for me to have that experience when I could start to see, my face looking lighter and brighter, and people actually commenting. And it wasn't because I had, just gotten my Botox done. So
That's great.
yeah.
That's a huge circle to come around. It really is. And congratulations to you just for that alone, because I know a lot of women. I have a friend here that has the breast implant illness. Like she had them removed, and she is still to this day suffering. And it's real. And it takes people having that walk and having that journey to themselves come around to see and trying to figure out what's going on. Why is this way? So kudos to you for, digging in and healing yourself, because that's life now, right?
Yeah. And I think everyone is on a path to, we're all concerned about our health and taking personal responsibility for our health. And I think that right now, the way we're going is, it's like, how can we be the most aligned to our own authenticity and be truly ourselves, and not what we think we have to do, not what we think we have to be, or not what we think we have to look like.
Right.
And I'm doing a full year of not coloring my hair.
Oh, join the club. Join the club.
I'm 7 months in. And so this is also, there's all these things. And it's not like we have to all do these things. Everyone's on their own journey, and I honor where people are at. And for example, breast implants don't make everybody sick. We know that they have toxic chemicals, but not everybody gets sick. I did. So this isn't about judgment around these areas either. I think everyone has to listen to their own truth. But what I do know, and getting back to the patch experience, is that we know that Eon, for example, is supporting inflammation or mitigating inflammation. So if anyone is experiencing any toxins in their body, that's a great patch to be wearing. And I even know that there was somebody recently, a client of, or somebody that was new into our LifeWave family, that experienced a huge reaction from Botox. And the patches actually helped her get rid of the poison much faster. The doctor had told her she's probably going to deal with, the inflamed issues she was seeing on her face
Mhm.
for over a month. And I
Oh,
think
wow.
Audra had said it was like 2 weeks and she was completely back to normal. So we know that
Wow.
these patches are doing so much to help with any toxins in the body and any inflammation. So just to share a little bit on that too, because we can really reduce, I mean, these patches are helping us in so many ways than we even know.
Oh, absolutely.
But
More
just
ways than we
having
know.
X39, I mean, just for me, my protocol is wearing X39 and X49 every single day and Eon every day. And I also wear Nirvana at night. I'm out right now, and I really, really love wearing Nirvana and also SP6 when I sleep. So those are the patches that I wear. And then of course I wear, glutathione every third day, typically, energy enhancer when I know I wanted just a little extra boost, or maybe I didn't get a great night's sleep, silent night if I'm not sleeping well. So it's like I have my go-tos that I wear every single day without fail. And then of course those that I wear when I need them, and they're just in my library of choices.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you didn't mention carnosine. Carnosine was the one we were kind of focusing on tonight. Have you worn
Well,
it? Have
okay, so I
you?
have worn carnosine, and I actually was the one that voted on that because I
Okay,
think
great.
it's one area that I haven't worn carnosine a lot, and I've had it, I've worn it. I think it's one that sometimes we don't necessarily feel a huge shift when we wear it, and maybe because again, I'm typically pretty healthy. So I love the topic, and I actually don't have carnosine right now. I'm going to place an order this week. So
Mhm.
I'd love to talk about it because I mean, there are a lot. I mean, even those of us who are, working actively in this company and in this business, to wear all of them and to have that experience, I'm still a year and a half in, so I'm learning. So let's
Mhm.
talk about it.
All right. So I was diving into the world of carnosine today. So we're going to specifically talk about carnosine, not necessarily carnosine the patch, but what carnosine is and what it does in our body. So David was quoting as saying that the carnosine is a miracle nutrient for the body. I thought that was really an interesting way to quote something, a miracle nutrient. So it's a dipeptide made of 2 amino acid. It has beta-alanine and L-histidine. And the two of them together make our carnosine in our body, in the carnosine. So carnosine is concentrated mainly in the muscles in the brain, also in the gastrointestines. So just knowing that, just hearing that, it kind of reaffirms what we already know about carnosine for cognitive function, because we know that the gut is the second brain. So that doesn't surprise me that we have all of this, cognitive support with carnosine, and that, also addressing the gastro issues. The very interesting thing that he was talking about is that carnosine itself prevents damage from sugars. So I don't know, whenever someone's healing, when you're healing from a wound, if your sugar levels are too high, your body cannot heal. So what that does is that levels out your sugars to promote healing. So it helps wound healing, but it helps wound healing from a different avenue than X39, because X39 brings in the stem cells, where the carnosine is managing that blood sugar. They call it anti-glycation. It's an anti-glycation nutrient to protect the cells for better wound healing. So I just thought that was fantastic, because that's a great one to pair. If you've got a wound or something that happens that, you wear your X39, maybe on those days that you have a fresh wound of some kind, like my thumb that's jacked up from the grocery store, that you throw that carnosine on there. So I thought that was really interesting.
I didn't know that.
I
Yeah.
did not either. And that it's different from X39 in its wound healing properties, but it also works synergistically with X39 for wound healing. So it's a good one to pair with X39 for specifically wound healing. It reduces oxidative stress in the brain and blood. It improves muscle strength and stamina within the first week. So instead of you trying to do something to build your stamina, to build your muscle up, it's proven within the studies that carnosine does this to your body within the first week. So I just thought that was really very interesting. And the struggle with carnosine supplements is that they're not terribly effective because you take them orally and they go in and they go through your stomach acid and they don't necessarily make it out to your bloodstream, which is where it wants to go. So you kind of then insert patches because they are applied to the body and they do not go through that digestive tract and don't there's no hindrance compared to the oral supplements. The one thing David did say that if you're a vegetarian, that you might want to supplement with a beta-alanine to help those building blocks for the amino acids for carnosine, because a lot of the beta-alanine you get from meat. And if you're a vegetarian, you're not necessarily getting that in your diet. Now, what exact supplements are out there that are beta-alanine that might be plant-based versus animal-based, and the different people and what they want to do and what they want to eat and how they want to, different products they put in their body. I can't attest to that, but it's something to look at. If you're a vegetarian and you're not eating meat, it's something to consider if you're going to start patching with carnosine, because you want to be able to have those two building blocks, and that one building blocks they come from meat. So,
this is also great. I'm plant-based, so I'm so glad you did the research today.
Yeah,
because I know,
and I'm sure there are beta-alanine plant-based supplements out there. There've got to be. I can't see that there aren't.
Yeah, we'll look into that for sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know for me, I remember I ordered carnosine a few different times, but of course I wore it after COVID for probably 2 or 3 months because of what I know it does for organ health, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I realized too, carnosine is, that's even a supplement I think most people have never heard of because it's so not spoken about, like you mentioned.
Correct. And I think the biggest part of carnosine and what it does for our body is what it does for our cognitive function. And the cognitive support that carnosine gives our body. There is research out there right now that they are using carnosine supplements being researched against certain types of brain-related disorders. Now, I don't want to get into medical conditions because that's not what we do, but if you think about some typical brain-related disorders, and if they're using carnosine supplements for those disorders, then you kind of connect the dots there and say, hey, well, we've got this carnosine patch that raises carnosine in your body. So it is great for antioxidation. It's great for anti-inflammation. And the other thing that David said, which I did not know, is that carnosine is great for chelation. It's great for removing aluminum from your body, which I had no idea. So, and he goes on to say that, you shouldn't drink soda, but if you drink soda, never drink soda out of a can. If you drink beer and you're going to drink beer, don't drink beer out of a can. So that kind of comes full circle on the whole.
Kind of like eating food out of, like buying preserved food in cans as well. Like I bought a can of black beans. That's aluminum as well, right?
Yes. Sometimes they have like a lining on the inside of them. I don't know if that's meant to protect the food. I've actually kind of drifted more towards the boxes. Have you seen the boxes of the boxes and bags of stuff? Not that the bags I think are any better with the plastics, but
right.
It's a great question. I don't know the answer to that. I think it's worth, if you want to dive down the rabbit hole on that, it might be worth it. But what I heard from David was don't drink out of a can. Got it. So he talked about carnosine and wearing it and how often to wear it. So on the packaging, it says 1 to 3 days a week. And in the thing that I was watching, the people were saying, well, what if you want to wear it more? Well, you can wear it more. So what he was kind of saying was that we don't burn through carnosine in our body as quickly as we do for glutathione. And Erin, I hope you're listening and catching, because I've got the answer to your question. How quickly do we burn through glutathione in our body? The half-life for glutathione is 7 minutes. Just bringing that back around for Erin. I know she's going to listen to this later on. If she's not already tuned in, I can't see on Facebook right now, but she was asking about that. So I am just sharing that one more time. Glutathione half-life 7 minutes. So carnosine is we don't burn through it as quickly. So we don't need to wear it as often. But he was saying, if you're working out, you know, if you exercise and work out 3 to 5 days a week, you should wear them on the day, wear carnosine on the days you work out, because it helps with the muscle, it helps with the stamina, it helps with the recovery from working out. So I thought those were all great tips, and just kind of all great tidbits to kind of pull from that hour-long thing that he usually does. He did go in on certain studies, and I can post the study links on this, on the Facebook link. I can post them below this, so you guys can kind of go in and look at the different studies. But I didn't really have time to delve too deep into those, because I thought that the cognitive function, the chelation, I mean, those are things that I had no idea, and I think they're absolutely awesome.
Yeah, and
know
can
that-
you are those bulleted somewhere, or can you create a? I mean, did you find this by what?
Old school.
Did you watch videos, or where did you find all of the details?
I watch videos. I
Okay.
go back and I seek out David's videos. And then I try to listen in on them, tune in on them, and follow along with the different, I take screenshots of the different things that he pulls up, so I can type in the thing if it's not on LifeWave. I can find those specific studies and kind of look into them a little bit more. So I, unfortunately, because of everything that happened in the last, 24, 48 hours, I didn't have a whole lot of time to do this, but I will share that link.
Awesome.
To
Yeah,
you
and
for
maybe some of
the-
the bullets, that would be amazing that you just
Yeah.
shared, because those are just things that we can remember and just, shoot
Sure.
off to somebody if they're asking about it.
Sure, yeah, I can do that.
So we can wear the days that we work out, or every 3 to 5 days, you said.
Well, I mean, the packaging says 1 to 3.
Oh, 1 to 3. I'm sorry.
Um,
That's what I meant to say.
Yep, 1 to 3. But if you're working out, you should wear it. So if you
Okay.
work out more than if you work out more than 3 times a week, wear it the days that you work out, which I think is great for people, especially, people that wear X39. I would think that X39, X49, and carnosine, you're unstoppable at that point. I feel like, especially with your recovery from exercise. So,
Yeah.
go ahead.
And Kate, glutathione, you half-life that for Aaron. I recently heard too that we can wear glutathione like every 3rd day. I mean, I wear it every day if I'm traveling, or if I'm, in a place where I know I'm exposed to a lot of people that might, all those kind of things, or if I feel like something coming on. But is that what your understanding is too? Glutathione every 3rd day, unless like you're in maybe compromised immunity? Or what have you heard on that?
Well, for me personally, I've worn, anytime I get anything of a tickle in the throat, anytime I feel slightly off, glutathione goes on. Anytime anyone in the house feels off or glutathione goes on. I would say I wear glutathione probably every other day, maybe every 3rd day, but I also use it in conjunction for the knee protocol.
Oh yeah, with the Eon.
Carnosine, Eon, and carnosine, Eon, and glutathione for the knee protocol. And we were talking about that the other week, that when I put 2 of them on in certain places, it almost feels like I put a TENS unit on. Like I get that electricity in my knee. It's the most awesome feeling. And then when I put glutathione on, that's when the energy starts to move, and I can feel it moving under the skin. It's wild.
Wow.
But that's why I started patching, was because I have terrible knees, arthritic knees. But back to the cognitive function real quick for the carnosine. We have someone on the team who has been patching her daughter. She's 16. She's close to 18. Because I know that LifeWave says not to patch children. The corporate says not to patch children. I leave it up to the discretion of the parents, because depending on what the benefit that they want to get out of the patch, I can't make that call for a parent. I can just give them the information and they make the decision. So she has been using carnosine patch on her daughter, and her daughter, who is on the spectrum, who struggles cognitively has had some pretty major milestones in the last couple months that she's been patching. So much so that I was on the phone with her and she was telling me the story about her daughter wanted to do something and she was in the back seat and she told her daughter that no, we can't do that. And her daughter was like, no, we can't do that. And I started dying laughing because now for neurotypical kids, that's something that you would do to your parents, whatever. I'm sure we all did it and got the backhand growing up. But for her daughter to mimic her in that sense and in that capacity, that was huge for her. And so when she's telling me the story, I am just so over the moon happy for her because of the way that her daughter is cognitively developing and doing these neurotypical things that she was never doing before. So it's absolutely fantastic. I know that from someone specifically on our team. And I don't know if you guys have any reports, Megan, if you have any reports of people with carnosine specifically?
No, I don't.
No carnosine?
No, Kaylee's only worn it a few times. Basically her protocol is Nirvana.
Huh.
And this week I started doing silent nights versus taking melatonin.
Has that helped?
Yeah.
What time do you put it on her at night?
9 on school nights, and I don't do it on the weekend.
Okay. And
So
then
it's
she's
pretty
usually
much-
asleep, what, within the hour?
Oh, before that. Probably within 30 minutes of patching.
Where do you place it?
The first night we put it behind her head. And then the second night we put it behind her ear. So
Okay.
I just started it towards the end of the week. And then I didn't patch her, Friday, Saturday. Tonight I'll put it on her at 9. And I know she was asleep by 9:30. The first night, the second night, I think it was closer to 10. But that's okay. But yeah,
I mean,
even though,
that's
they say not to, I'd rather her body make her own melatonin than take what she's been taking.
yeah.
And then, like I said, her body's not telling me she needs Carnosine right now. So it's just saying she needs Nirvana. And again, I don't put it on her every day. Yep, no Carnosine.
No carnosine. I have someone that I'm working with who signed up with someone else, but then I guess found her way to me and through a friend. And so I sent her a bunch of samples and her son is also on the spectrum. And I got some great texts from her over the weekend. So I'm so excited to, see how, her journey progresses. And I don't know, Krista, if you know the answer to this, but she made the comment about switching to me. And I don't know what that would mean. I'm sure it's a call to corporate and all that. But she said that the gentleman that she had signed up with, just kind of gave her patches and, I guess that was it. So she was wanting to join our team because of the guidance she's gotten from me with patching.
I understand from Sandra that is possible if that person says they want to switch to your team, but they have to, call and find out what that protocol is. I'd be curious too.
Yeah. Okay. I'll call corporate and find out.
I'm going to say that I'm going to order carnosine this week because I'm also clinically diagnosed with ADHD. And so the cognition piece of it, I think would be great because I do find myself starting a lot of things, but also finding it challenging sometimes to finish or feeling, overwhelmed and all of that.
Absolutely. I would
Just
definitely,
check out.
definitely recommend carnosine for that.
Yeah. So I'm glad
Definitely
that
recommend
today.
carnosine for that. I've been doing that more in our household because of
Mhm.
that reason. Gosh, I got all these bright lights on over here.
I like the aluminum piece.
The chelation.
That-
Yeah.
That would be very beneficial for especially us women to wear it every now and then to get that aluminum out because we use it with deodorant.
Speak
And
for yourself.
well, I just stopped again wearing the aluminum, but there was a study many years ago about breast cancer. And it was a very high number. I want to say like 90%, we'll say, of those breast tumors had aluminum.
Mhm. I've heard that
So,
too.
so that's a good piece to know that, you know, by using that carnosine, hey, let's get rid of aluminum.
Yeah, right.
Mhm.
Yeah, I got rid of aluminum a while ago in my deodorant.
I just found a recipe to make my own. I'm going to try it this week. I'll let you know how it goes.
Awesome. I have a girlfriend that does that. I just don't have the patience or the time.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I haven't
Yeah.
found one that you can buy. I like a little bit of a glide, you know, so lately I just use coconut oil with lavender and tea tree.
Oh, is that working?
It works great. It's just, you know, you want something like a stick sometimes.
Right.
So you'll have to let me know about your recipe, and if you get,
Yeah,
Well,
right.
I think it has sodium. Yeah. I can get connected through Kate and share it with you. I'm going to try it. And then I found it on somewhere on Instagram, a girl that has a lot of these different recipes for homemade hair serums and body products, etc.
I found mine aluminum free at Target.
Yeah.
It's a brand called Schmidt,
Okay.
and it's
I've
an
tried all of them, like
activated
native.
charcoal.
I think I'm using the crystal one right now.
Oh yeah.
It's okay. I mean, it's just hard to find one that,
Yeah.
it usually works.
Awesome. Megan, you have any more questions?
no,
No questions? Awesome.
I think I'm complete too. I just wanted to mention too that one thing that came through about, you know, as soon as you feel a sniffle or something. I mean, I had COVID twice in 2021, then started using the patches, and I've not been sick once. Not once. And I've been around sick people. Oh, I hope you don't get sick. Oh, I went on a date with a guy that got sick the next day, and he's like, I hope I didn't get you sick. And I'm like, oh no, you know, like we were holding hands, and my friends were sick when they came back. Like I'm not getting sick and I'm around sick people. It's amazing. So
That's
I'm
great.
really attributing it to the patches.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, we've had some illness in our house, even with the patches, but for the most part, I've been fine. Everybody else has kind of gone down. Sorry, everybody.
Well, you're probably wearing more patches than everyone else in
Oh
your
yeah,
house.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I have the keys to the gate, keys to the kingdom. So
Yeah. Well, and as soon as we get sick, we know we have, you know, these protocols that can help us recover faster and get our body back.
Yep. That's the other thing. We're going to be adding more protocols this week. I was just working with Megan on that to the Learn to Patch website. We have a couple protocols on there right now. I think brain balancing and a couple others. But that was the other one. Carnosine is good because there's gastrointestinal. So Megan, I know that we've discussed using Ice Wave for any kind of gastro things. If you put carnosine 4 fingers above your belly button, that's another good one for any kind of gastrointestinal issues.
Wait, so would that help with digestion?
Yes.
Which one? Carnosine 4 fingers
Carnosine.
above the belly button.
4 fingers above the belly button.
Okay, I was just asking this for somebody who's coming into the company tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
Carnosine, and why will that help? Can you?
That's what I've seen.
Okay.
The carnosine right above the belly button. But what I heard from David was also that carnosine is good for gastrointestinal. So it makes sense that you would put it in that area. Now, if they don't see not immediate relief, but if they don't see relief in like 20 minutes, I would say move it around the intestinal area.
Okay.
I would just, again, you have to be a little intuitive with these things sometimes.
Right.
To find the right spot.
At one point here, I actually put this in Patch Me Up Babe yesterday because I had somebody asking about digestion. And I remember at one point, somebody said Eon, and I think that is also just helpful, just the inflammation aspect of it. Yeah. So I'd probably pair.
That might have been where I saw it, because I think
somebody responded. I haven't gone on to check it yet.
Well, what type of digestion support are they looking for?
I need to ask to get more specific.
Like indigestion, heartburn, bloating, gas, pain.
Right.
All of those things. Well, I have suffered from a little bit of all of those. And what has worked for me is if I take Ice Wave
Hmm.
and I put the tan patch to the left of the bottom of your sternum. And then the white one goes right in the middle of your belly button. And within minutes, everything goes away.
Wow. And is it because you've been in discomfort that you've chosen to try Ice Wave?
Yes. So the very first time I had abdominal discomfort, pain, and it went right underneath my rib cage and it went from the left all the way to the right. And then it started coming up through my chest. And I'm like, well, clearly I'm not having a heart attack. So I'm like, this has got to stop. So I ended up
Okay.
putting Ice Wave and within minutes it went away. So any kind of digestion issue, I
Mhm.
put Ice Wave on and it's gone.
Wow, great. Okay, thank you for sharing that, Megan. I will definitely pass it along.
It was Marie Helene.
Did she put that on the comment? Okay,
Yeah,
I'll go
she
look at
did.
that. Okay.
It was, and I screenshotted her. I'm like, oh, we're talking about carnosine tonight. Click. And I didn't realize it was your question. And she
Oh,
answered.
yeah, it was mine. Mhm.
She says 6 fingers. It wasn't 4. It was 6 fingers above the navel works for digestive trouble.
Okay.
I think that's the point, Kate, that you shared on the boards.
On the boards? Oh, okay.
I think that's that point.
Okay.
Okay, well, wonderful. Well, sisters, I've got to run, but this has been lovely. And I've actually learned a lot too, Kate. So thanks for bringing this topic and great to meet you too, Megan.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks
Yes.
for joining us.
Yeah, thank
All right,
you.
talk to you
Okay,
later.
happy patching.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. So I'm just going to recap real quick that, that I didn't tell you. Tomorrow we get a new website. Woohoo! LifeWave is rolling out their new website. They tested it in the UK first a couple weeks ago, and tomorrow it goes live in the States. It's supposed to be a little bit more user-friendly, a little bit more intuitive, and hopefully we won't have as many issues signing on preferred customers versus brand customers and having the difference of who they are and where they go and what they do. Apparently it's all supposed to be explained in this new website. So I'm really excited about that. I'm hoping it kind of eases things for us as brand partners trying to bring people on. And where was the last thing? Oh yeah, congratulations again, Meg.
Hey, thanks.
Megan, our new manager. All right, well, you all have a great evening. I am going to go tuck in my little guys. And I will post this up on the YouTube along with last week's that I was a little bit of a slacker getting that up on. So I will get both those on tonight. And everybody have a wonderful week. And we will see you next Sunday.
Thanks, Kate.
Yep. Take care, Meg.
Bye.
Bye.